To present our keynote speaker, I would like to invite Mrs. Teresa Markham to the stage. You all know her. She has been with us for 4+ years with this group of students. She spent 13 years at Kensington Woods until just this year. And so I consider it an honor and privilege to let her introduce our keynote speaker for tonight's event. Thank you.
I can't even look at you guys. I am so excited to be here, and just even more excited to introduce our keynote speaker. But before I bring him up here, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about how James Gray has positively impacted my life. He dominates the world of what's called MMA, mixed martial arts. And I have to tell you, when I first saw what MMA was in the 90s, I hated it. Hated it. I saw it as being just needless fighting, people getting hurt. Then I met James. And when I met him, he completely changed my perception of the sport. What I saw was not only an incredible fighter, but just an amazing teacher. And a person who teaches what to me is the most important thing that you can teach anybody, and that's character traits. Character traits such as work ethic, dedication, perseverance, respect. It's all in there. And as I was watching the students that he's teaching throughout time, I'm watching them come in sullen with their heads down, and after a period of time, they're just lifted up and they have confidence, they have self-esteem, and they just look so happy and so proud. And that's how everything changed for me with MMA. And so now it's like my boys are involved in the sport. I even watch this stuff on TV. I don't really want to admit that too loud because I don't want to watch it more than what we already have it on TV. I'm good enough with what we have. But I wanted to also tell you some of his accomplishments that he has, because I thought, what a perfect way to end graduation. In James's career so far, he's the owner of Scorpion Fighting Systems Martial Arts Academy. He is an 11-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament champion. He's a professional MMA fighter with a record of 17-1. That's between his amateur and his pro fights, and competes nationally. He's the coach to several successful amateur and professional fighters. He works with Livingston County Court with struggling youth. And he's taught hundreds of children and adults right here in this very community. So with that, I'm very happy to introduce Mr. James Gray.
Hello, I'm James Gray. I expected you to be a lot bigger when people see you, especially after those introductions. And it was such a phenomenal start here between Marcus and Teresa's speeches that I hope I'm able to follow up and do the same. So my goal today is to speak to the kids, so I'm going to change things up here a little bit. That's better. All right, now I can talk to the kids. Teresa initially asked me, hey, are you willing to come in and speak to some of the kids that are graduating from Kensington High School? And without a question, I said, absolutely. Because I've been there, I've been young, I had a really rough start, I had a suicide early on from my mother, and the world just started off kind of grim for me. And at some point I just said, the past is irrelevant, and all that matters is what I do today. So I just want to kind of steer a couple concepts to you guys, and I don't plan out any speeches in advance. I just like to talk from the heart instead of just writing things down that sound good. So a couple topics that I'd like to cover is, fear in life is going to be the #1 factor, whether you make it or you don't. You're going to encounter things in your life where you're going to say, this road is going to be incredibly difficult, and although it might be my passion or it might be what I want to do, this is where I want to steer my future. you know, what about this? Oh, what if I can't provide for my family? What if it doesn't work out? What if I move across the country for this opportunity and then I fail? Right? We're all terrified of failing. We don't want to be the people that other people look at and say, you know, oh man, look, he didn't do it. But in my opinion, when you look at your future and you consider what is important to you, you can't fail if you follow your dream. If you set out to say, this is what I love to do, and I'm gonna pursue it against all obstacles, you're already winning. You're already one of the people, the very rare people from my experience, that carves their own way through this world. You'll create your own path. It's very easy to just settle. The simplest thing in life is just to be mediocre and just say it's good enough, and I did what I can. But that's not worthwhile. That's not something you'll look back and say, man, I really got every ounce of this life out of it. I lived the best experience I could. The way to do that is following what you love. And all of you have something different. Everybody, and you may not know what it is yet. I didn't actually find martial arts till late in high school. And it kind of happened by chance. I thought I could fight, and my friend thought I couldn't fight. And he said, I'll show you what jiu-jitsu is. And he choked me unconscious. And I said, you're right and I'm wrong. And I was hooked on it. I said, that's the most amazing thing that's ever happened. How did this take place? And then obviously my parents and such said, there's no career in MMA. You're not gonna be a professional martial artist. You need to just stay at your job. You work at a Chevrolet dealership after hours, you're a porter after school. That's good, it's a good start, right? But I didn't believe that. I said, that's not good enough for me. Now I am a professional mixed martial artist. I've competed professionally in boxing. I just recently got back from Finland. I was brought over to Finland to teach seminars all over Finland. Got paid a good amount of money to do that. I've been to Brazil 4 times to compete and coach. So my life has turned into this incredible adventure that a lot of the times we think it might not be possible for me. We see it on TV, we see it in a movie. We might know somebody that's living a life where we go, wow, they really have their things together. But they're no different than you. They're just some person, regular human being. I'm not special in any way. I just said, I'm gonna set out on this path, and I'm gonna have obstacles, and I'm gonna have difficulty, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be somebody that looks back and say, I made the right choices because I followed my heart, right? So fear is the biggest thing to avoid. And if something scares you, deal with it. When you have a fear, you say, man, you know, I have this comfort zone, and if I try to do this, what if it doesn't work out, you know? What if I try to do that and I don't fail? That's the route you need to take, because you'll build yourself into a stronger character than you ever realized you could be. When you come out the other side, winning or losing becomes irrelevant. The person that's produced from challenging your fears is the person that you want to become. That's a stronger person. Someone that has more belief in themselves. You know, they say our trials are what strengthen us. So if you've had hard times in life, or maybe you haven't, maybe you've had it very easy. When you have hard times in life, value those times. That's making you a stronger person. That's going to make you a more capable person for the future, right? So fear is one of the biggest things I talk to people about. So I do a community program with some struggling youth, and the number one thing I notice in those people is they're afraid. They're just afraid to put themselves on the line. They may not have the confidence, or afraid of what other people think. And as soon as I break that barrier and they go, wow, I can do this. What else can I do? As soon as you start breaking barriers in your life that are limiting you, you realize your potential is limitless. There's no degree, you know, of success that you're capped at. There's no ceiling that says, okay, you can only achieve this much. It's all based on what you are willing to put in, your effort, and how much you'll challenge your fears, okay? The next part I like to talk to people about is responsibility, and taking responsibility for yourself. Everything that happens in the world, you can't control, but you can always control yourself and your reactions to it. So some of you, I see a lot of people that fall in this slump of, you know, man, I just got dealt this bad hand of cards, or I have this going on, or I gotta pay this, but whatever it is, it's all irrelevant. You can always control your reaction to it, and you can either deal with it and find a solution, and become a better person by constantly handling the issues that are presented to you. Or you can say, this is not my fault. It's because of this. I would be successful, but if only I had what this person has. That's all irrelevant. Just focus on yourself, take responsibility for your future, and the doors are gonna open up. So the last thing that I'll speak on, I don't want to take up too much of your time, I could talk all day, it's just belief in yourself. And even if nobody else sees the path that you want to achieve, you have to see it. The first thing I do to train a professional fighter is the exact opposite of what you think about. I make them believe in themselves. I don't teach them how to punch. I don't teach them how to wrestle. I don't even teach them how to throw submissions. I just teach them how to believe in themselves. Because once I get you to believe in you, your potential is limitless. You'll go as far as you want. You'll be telling me what you can achieve. You'll be like, I'm gonna go to New York and I'm gonna pursue an acting career and I'm gonna be the most famous actor you see on television. And other people might say, wow, that's quite the dream, right? But somebody else is doing that. That was someone else. So the first thing that you guys need to do is when you look in the mirror, you have to have a reason for why do I believe in me? And as soon as you get that belief in yourself, nobody else can stop you. And people might say, you're gonna fail. It's gonna be harder than you think, right? And it will. Nothing will ever be easy, but one day when you make it, they'll say, oh my, I knew that person. I went to school with them. I worked with them. That's so crazy. And the last thing I'll talk about is just the people you surround yourself with have such an impact on your future and who you're gonna become. If you put yourself in an environment that's very negative, or very degrading, or condescending, or drama-filled, right, just a waste of time, that's the path you're gonna go down. You're gonna be distracted by mindless problems and stress, and all these factors that we shouldn't have to encounter. But when you're around good people, wholesome people, people that are positive, people that love one another, that builds you up, that makes you feel better. Nobody loves being around somebody that is constantly downing and, okay, this is rough, this is difficult. We all want to be inspired and we want to feel good. So find those people, seek those people out. Be around people that make you feel good. So the last thing, don't just take my words and my story as a belief in what I'm saying. We also have one more lady here that I'm gonna just introduce for 30 seconds. It's my girlfriend, Amanda Cooper. She met me 5 years ago just as a boxer. I got her to believe in herself and her ability, and she's now fighting on the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter, which is the largest MMA organization in the world. She's on Fox Sports. She just got back from LA, from the Fox Sports studio, and she's sitting in the front row in a blue dress, if you could raise your hand. Right? This is another girl that walked in the door and said, I have a boxing background and I would like to pursue MMA, right? And as soon as I saw her learn to believe in herself and what she could achieve, it began to happen. So if my words have value to you and you believe that the future is yours, now's the time to take it. Thank you for your time.